Hello students, I Ashok Kumar PGTC is with you here, and today we are going to discuss about parameter and argument in function. Later we will discuss about how to pass string, list, tuple and dictionary as argument to the function. This topic is in class 12 computer science in chapter functions. Before today's topic, you must have the basic knowledge of function. That means what is a function, what is the use of the function, and how we can define a function in Python. That must already be known to you. Now let's start. What is parameter? Parameter are the variables provided in the function definition. These are used in the brackets of function header. And arguments are the values passed to the function. Here we are defining a function. See this example. Def is the keyword to define a function. Addition is the name of the function, and whatever is written in the brackets is known as parameter. Here we are using a and b as parameters because a and b are written in the brackets of function header. In this function we have to add two numbers, so we are writing a statement in the function print a plus b. When we call the function, we have to write name of the function and we have to provide values to the parameter. These values are known as arguments. Here we are writing addition 5, 10. Addition is the name of the function, and 5 and 10 are the values which are known as arguments. These two values we are passing to the function. When we execute this program, we will get the result as 15. Now, type of arguments. There are different type of arguments passing in the Python, but here we are going to discuss about only the two types. One is positional arguments and second one is default argument. Now, what is positional arguments? In this, the arguments are passed to a function in the same positional order as per parameter of the function. Means first value will be assigned to the first parameter, second value will be assigned to the second parameter, and so on. See the example. We are having a function subtract here, in which we are using two parameters num1 and num2, and we have to print the result num1 minus num2. When we call the function, we have to provide the values to these two variables. So we are writing subtract 10, 5. So here 10 value will be assigned to num1 and 5 value will be assigned to num2, and we will get the result as num1 minus num2, that is 5. See another case now. Function is same, all statements are same. We are just changing the position of the arguments. So when we change the position, the first value will be assigned to the first variable and second value will be assigned to the second variable. Now num1 becomes 5 and num2 becomes 10. The result will num1 minus num2, that means 5 minus 10, that is minus 5. So we can see here, if we change the position order of the result, we change the position of arguments, the result may get affected. So we have to pass the arguments in the same positional order as we write the parameter in the function definition. Now, default argument. Firstly, we have to keep in our mind that we have to provide values to each parameter used in the function header. That means if we are having 4 parameters, we have to provide 4 values when we call the function. If we are having 3 parameters, we have to provide 3 values. If we provide less number of values, then what will happen? There will be an error. Then what is the solution? We can use default argument in that particular case. What is default argument? The argument which takes a default value if the value is not provided in the function call. See in this example, def product num1 comma num2 equals to 20. Here this particular parameter num2, we are assigning it a default value 20. If we are not providing the value for num2, it will get the value as default. It will pick its default value 20. In this function, we are going to calculate the product of these two numbers. Here we are writing def product num1 comma num2 equals to 20. Then to calculate the product, we are writing print num1 multiply num2. Now when we call this function, we are writing product 5 comma 10. That means 5 will be assigned to num1 and 10 will be assigned to num2. If we are providing the value in function call, then there is no use of the default value and it will use 5 for num1 and 10 for num2, and the result will be 50. Multiplication of these two values. Now see on the other side. In this case, function is same, but when we are calling it, we are providing only a single value. But there are 2 parameters. So this particular value will be assigned to the variable num1 and there is no value for num2, so num2 will pick its default value as 20. Now we have to print num1 multiplied by num2, that means 5 into 20, and we will get the result as 100. Yes, remember, if default argument is used, then all the arguments to its right side must also have default values. In the previous examples, we passed only simple values and used only simple variables as parameter. Now one question is there. Can we pass string, which is a group of characters, directly to the function? Yes, like simple values, string can be passed to a function. A function can access value of the string but cannot modify it. Function can access the value of the string but cannot modify it. Why? Because string is immutable. Now see the function def welcome and name is the parameter of the function. It will print hello message with the string which we are passing as an argument. Now we are calling the function and passing the string with the value Ashok Kumar. Then what we will get? It will print hello Ashok Kumar. So we can see that string can also be passed as an argument. Now see another example. In this program we have to count and display total number of vowels in the string. Let's understand the code. Def is the keyword, count vowel is the name of the function, and str is the parameter. In the function call statement, here we are passing a string having value welcome to KV Dappar. The string is having value welcome to KV Dappar. We pass this string and we have to count the number of vowels present in this string. So we are initializing the variable count as 0. Now applying for loop on this string, for ch in str. Now we are applying a loop on this by which ch is having values first w, then e, then l, c, and so on. And we have to check whether this value of ch, all these values of ch is a vowel or not. If it is a vowel, we have to add 1 in the count variable, and this is to be repeated till the end of the function. How we can check? We are comparing the value of ch with another string which contains all the vowels. Here one more string is there, a, e, I, o, u in small letter, a, e, I, o, u in capital letters. If ch is in the string, in this string, that means the value of ch is a vowel, otherwise it is not a vowel. So we are doing the same. If ch in a, e, I, o, u, a, e, I, o, u within this string, then increase the value of count as 1. And at last we are returning the value of count, which will store in variable c. Print the value of c and we will get the result. What will be the result? Total number of vowel in the string 6. In this example, we passed string as an argument, and we can see that we can use that particular string according to our requirement. Now, passing list to a function. A list can also be passed as an argument in the same way as passing of normal variable to the function. See the example. In this example, we are going to pass a list to the function, and with the help of function, we will calculate the sum of all the values present in the list. Def SumList is the name of the function and list1 is the parameter. Here nList is a list which contains some values. nList is having values like 12, 10, 30, 43, 6, 32, and we are passing this list to the function. S equals to SumList, and within the brackets we are writing nList. We are providing the list as an argument. How it will count the sum, how it will calculate the sum? Firstly, we are initializing sum as 0. Now applying the loop on this list for I in list 1 means I will have the values 12, then 10, then 30, 43, then 6 and then 32. I will have these values one by one, and with the help of this statement sum equals to sum plus I means in the previous value of sum we are adding the value of I. That means it will calculate firstly 0 plus 12, then within this sum it will add 10, then within this all sum it will add 30 and so on. After the completion of the loop we are returning the value of sum, and this value gets stored in S, and at last we are printing the value, the sum of all the elements. So we will get the result as the sum of all elements is, I think it will become 133. So this will be the output. As we passed string, as we passed list as an argument, similarly a tuple can also be passed as an argument. As the tuple is immutable, the function can access only the values of the tuple, but the function cannot able to modify it. Let's see the example. In this example we are passing a tuple. We are passing a tuple to the function, and the function will find out the number of odd values and number of even values present in the tuple. So here def, then name of the function countVal, and this is the parameter. Here we are initializing two variables because we have to count two different values, count odd as 0, count even as 0. Now we are applying again loop on the tuple. For I in tuple 1 means I will have all the values of tuple one by one. Firstly it will have the value 12, then 19, then 23, then 5, then 76, then 34 and then 35. And just to check whether this value is odd or even, we are putting this condition: if I percentage 2 double equals to 0 means if the value of I is completely divisible by 2 and the remainder is 0, then it will be a even value, otherwise it will be a odd value. So if it is a even value, we are increasing the counter, count even equals to count even plus 1. If it is a odd value, we are adding 1 in the variable count odd. And after the completion of this loop, it will return two values, return count even comma count odd, and these returned value will get stored in the variable a and b, because we write a comma b equals to countVal t1. Now print both the values. Print the number of even values in the tuple r, we are printing the value of variable a, and the number of odd values r, we are printing the value of b. So we will get the result: the number of even values are like 1, then 2 and then 3. It will print 3, and the number of odd values are 1, 2, 3 and then 4. This will be the output. Hence we can see that tuple can also be passed as an argument. Now passing dictionary to a function. A dictionary can also be passed as an argument, as the dictionary is mutable. So the function can also update the values of the dictionary. It can use as well as it can update the value of dictionary, because dictionary is mutable. In this program we are printing the key and the value of the key present in the dictionary. Here data is the dictionary having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as its key, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are the values of the keys respectively. Here we are passing the dictionary in the function, and within the function we are just calculating the printing the key and its value. So we will get the result as the key, that is 1, then due to this the colon sign, and then value of the key, that is Monday. And the second time you will get output 2, the key value, key and its value, then 3 Wed, 4 Thursday, 5 Friday, 6 Saturday, 7 Sunday. So here we can see the dictionary can also be passed as an argument. I hope you all can understand all the concepts. That's all for today. Thank you.